the focus in the national political establishment would be on tomorrow's State of the Union address. However, a little controversy broke out on Friday. Maybe you heard about it, involving Governor Ralph Northam, and it continues to rage on to this moment. Let's talk a little bit more about it with my guest tonight, legal analyst Kelly Hyman, who's up late with me on the Final Five. Kelly, good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thanks so much for having me.
Talk
it's great to be here.
Good to see you. So tell me here, as you see this playing out from your vantage point, you know, all this broke on Friday with Governor Northam. I mean, what was your first takeaway when you saw that picture and you learned about the controversy?
I was completely shocked, you know, and today the governor met with some administrative people to discuss whether or not he should resign or not. And there hasn't been a determination whether he's going to resign or not. But it's important that the governor think about the best interest of the people in the Commonwealth of Virginia. You know, when people lose trust in their leader, you know, it's hard for them to support them and be, you know, behind that person. In the Commonwealth of Virginia, right. Both senators have said that he should step down and resign. Both
senators who were also both former governors. They've been in the governor's mansion before. If you got a call tomorrow from somebody in the governor's inner circle and they said, Kelly, we need you to give some advice to Governor Northam right now. You know, he gave a press conference on Saturday that was kind of bizarre by many standards. I think he wanted to break out a moonwalk, and his wife told him not to do that. But what would you tell him at this point with the walls proverbially closing in on him?
To think about the people of his state, and if they're going to lose trust in him and can't be behind him, then it's time for him to step down and let the lieutenant governor take over his position.
You know, when you look at 1984, that clearly, I mean, everything has changed. The entire political dynamic, society has changed in the last 34, 35 years. But the fact remains that 35 years ago, you don't see many instances where it was ever acceptable to glorify blackface. The governor has been backtracking and saying, well, maybe it wasn't him in the picture. But it really seems strange to take that stance when on Friday you put out a statement, you put out a video statement saying, I was in the picture.
Exactly. First he was in the picture, then he wasn't in the picture. But there's no reason to have a photo like that, especially when it was on his page.
Yeah.
It was a racist photo.
What do you think it says about the fact that the medical institution that he attended, and I know they're going to speak out tomorrow about the yearbook, but the fact that this was able to be put in print, regardless of who may be in that picture, again, 35 years ago, but still not a very long time ago by most stretches of the imagination, the fact that this was able to enter the public domain.
That's, you know, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's sad that, you know, that still exists in our society. But, you know, racism should not be in America. We shouldn't have it.
What struck me, though, by the reaction in all this, Kelly, and you mentioned former governors, now Senators Kane and Warner, is the fact that you have a lot of people in his party. In fact, pretty much universally, everybody on his side in the party. There are polls that have come out that shows he's taken a dramatic hit with approval numbers since then. This is not a one-sided thing. You have Republicans understandably coming out and saying resign. You have Democrats too. I don't know what I can't imagine a situation in which he could ride this out. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't imagine in your estimation you'd see a situation where he could ride this out.
Right. You know, very difficult. Like you just said, you have both aisles coming together to say, you know what, this is a racist photo. This is not right. You need to think about the interests of the people in Virginia and step down.
Before we go, and again, I hate when we tie in politics with something like this, but the Democratic Party certainly would have a vested interest in not seeing him in the governor's mansion in 2020 when they're trying to win the state as well in the presidential election, because Virginia has become a must-win state in recent years.
Absolutely. You know, that's a very good point, especially with a, you know, strong African-American community to get them out, you know, to vote.
It's a size. I was just going to say, the African-American vote is a sizable chunk of the electorate in Virginia. Kelly, we got to go, but Kelly Hyman, great to have you on the show tonight. Thanks for coming in. Well, I'm saying thanks for coming in. You're in your living room right now. You know what I mean.
Thanks. It's great to see you.
Kelly Hyman, we're back after this in the Final Five.